So I realized on my journey that when we desire happiness, we have a tendency to bypass what doesn't make us happy, to pretend that we're overcoming it and thinking that we're actually making ourselves happy by ignoring what's underneath the surface. And the thing is when we do this, we have a tendency to think that we're broken. And this is why a lot of people don't want to look at their shame, don't want to look at their guilt, don't want to look at their insecurities. But today, I want to change that up. And I want you to realize that you shouldn't fear that your heart is broken, because here's the thing, your heart is not broken. The thing is that you need to find ways to heal your closed heart. And that's what we're going to be talking about today. 3 ways to heal a closed heart and really not fear what is underneath the surface that is actually trying to help you really understand true happiness. What is Gucci beautiful beings? I got a big ass zit on my chin. Fuck. Anywho, what is going on, you beautiful awakened ones? Welcome back to another episode on Embracing Ascension series with your homegirl, Brittany Fontanez. If you're new to this channel, welcome. I am intuitive shaman healer, psychic reader. I talk about spiritual development, emotional awareness with love, and I do guided readings for each zodiac sign, and I talk about things I feel need to be talked about because our divine right to know more than what we've been told. So if you want to know any of my business inquiries and who I is and what I represent, all that information is down in the description box below. But I'm gonna be real with y'all. It's been a tough time for me lately. I just recently moved to Arizona, and being here, it's like I ain't got no choice but to revive what's been really repressed within me. And I know it's my feminine really making herself known, and actually my inner child expressing themselves immensely in order for me to actually bring more nurturing into my life. Since, throughout my journey, I started to realize my heart has been very closed. And the thing is, a lot of us have very, very closed hearts, to the point we judge it, to the point that we label it as we're broken. And this is why a lot of us don't want to look at that shadow side of ourselves, because it's easier to try to bypass it to force happiness, and instead of really understanding what is causing the discord of happiness within us. And this is when we try too hard to want happiness, and then we wonder why we're not getting what we want, is because we can't ignore what is causing the resistance towards what we want. This is the whole point of changing beliefs, changing your identity, and being very self-aware of what is causing stagnation in your life. So I share all of this with you because I feel a lot of people in the spiritual community don't talk enough about this. It's always about manifesting or, trying to attract someone back into your life. And the thing is, spirituality really has nothing to do with the woohoo stuff. I know I've been sharing this a lot on my channel, but it has a lot to do with bringing the darkness back to the light, bringing the darkness back to love. And that's why I want to share with you guys and here's another thing too. You can't manifest anything in your life until you understand what is preventing you from actually having it. That is the thing. My whole channel and everything that I do, I help people see the resistance of what is preventing them from seeing the true wholeness and completion of who they are. And this is why I want to share this video today with you, because this has been very, very heavy on my heart. And I know I'm not the only one who feels this way. And I know you may be that type who watch this video, that you may feel like an outcast. You may feel like you get the shit under the stick every relationship. And, everything I'm about to share with you is not only regarding having a closed heart towards relationships and love. It has everything to do towards yourself, honestly. When our heart is closed, where it's not only closed towards what we want, it's closed towards ourselves. And here's the thing, we can't live a wholesome life if we don't know how to be here for ourselves. And I know it sounds annoying to hear, self-love is the way to go. But the thing is, It's true. It's really true. You will never understand love from another or how to love life until you fully understand the love that the universe, our creator, has for you, until you tap in to what makes you believe that you're not worthy of this love, what makes you believe that you can't have a healed heart. So let's get right into this, beautiful beings, because I really just want to dive right into this. Is 3 ways to heal a closed heart. Now, this first one, I know it sounds very cliche, but a lot of people underestimate this, and that is forgiveness. You know, it's really funny. Being a psychic and being very in tune, I'm an indigo child, which means that we have to go through a lot of darkness, through a lot of pain, but through that, that's how we actually transmute and alchemize a lot of dark energy, which brings a lot of light to this world. And I honor that. Before I didn't, but now I really do, because I realize being sensitive is such a gift. And this is why I feel forgiveness is very underestimated. But as I was saying, I believe that, you know, the reason why forgiveness is such a catalyst to opening your heart is because, well, like I said, being a psychic, I've been around a lot of people, and when they say, oh, I forgive, I forgive, I forgive, no. Here's the thing. We don't truly understand forgiveness until we try to stop reminiscing on wanting to change the past. Forgiveness is about literally accepting what has happened, but realizing that there's nothing wrong with you and there's nothing wrong with the person, there's nothing wrong with the experience. It just happened. And I believe forgiveness is such a catalyst to opening your heart because it makes you recognize that this is a vast, infinite universe filled with immense unconditional love. And forgiveness helps you remember that having an open heart helps you understand that all there is love. And love is the only thing that heals. Love is the only thing that helps things grow. Love is the only thing that moves us. And if we don't allow ourselves to forgive, what we're really doing is actually creating our own suffering. Because the thing is, forgiveness is about wanting to release. It's about wanting to let go. And it's funny, before I did this, I started this video, these are the 2 cards that actually showed up. Forgiveness and release. Forgiveness gives you permission to know that there is absolutely nothing wrong with what has happened. There's nothing wrong with you. There's nothing wrong with why your parents didn't love you. There's nothing wrong why that lover didn't choose you. There's nothing wrong with the fact that you feel this pain. There is nothing wrong with it. The reason why you think there's something wrong with it is because you want to change it. You want to still have control over it. But forgiveness is about releasing that control and understanding that it was part of the process to help you develop how to have an open heart and how to still love even deeper than you ever had before. So that's one way to heal a closed heart, is learning how to forgive. And here's the thing, you guys. Forgiveness is tough. It's really tough because we live in a world where we want to manipulate. We want to control. We want to seem like, we're right. And the thing is, when we try to be like we're right, what we're doing is missing the whole point of the lesson. And forgiveness teaches you the purpose behind the lesson of why you need to open up your heart more. So it's about learning to not hold on to what no longer serves. So that's one way to heal a closed heart. We're going to get a little deeper. Going to get a lot deeper. Now, the second way to heal a closed heart is, this is a big one, and this is a crazy one since I started to implement this on my journey, and that is, I know in the beginning of my journey, all I wanted to do was heal. I still want to do that. But in the beginning, I was coming from it from a frame of, damn, I don't think I'll ever heal. Damn, I'm so broken. Damn, I have too much trauma. I don't know how I'm going to allow a relationship in. I don't know if I can forgive my parents. I don't really know, if these broken pieces of my heart will ever be put back together. And I had to really stop myself recently, literally, like towards the middle of last year. Well, towards the ending of last year, really, this is where I really started to understand that it's not about mending your heart, because your heart is not broken. The thing is, you may feel this pain, you may feel this hurt, but the way to open your heart, what happens when you have a breakdown? You got to have a breakthrough. That's the whole point. The way to heal a closed heart is by breaking through. Break through those pieces, those broken pieces. I like to look at it as like your heart that has millions of broken pieces. But within those cracks are a guiding light, a luminescent light that is ready to shine so bright to create a new heart. And that's the whole point of a breakthrough. The way to heal a closed heart is to break through that pain, break through the sadness, break through the agony of the suffering that you're unconscious of, that you're still holding on to. And that's the thing. The reason why we think we have to mend our broken heart is because we're addicted to that pain. We still hold on to it. We believe that this pain is our identity. That's the crazy thing. And the thing I want to share with you is that when you're learning how to open up your heart, you have to break through. You have to. I remember when I had a session with the shaman, and she was bringing white light through my body, and she got to my heart, and she's like, I need you to push that light out. Push that light out. Push it as hard as you can. And, in a way, she was forcing me, but in a way, I wanted it because I felt to my core that I was holding on to so much that my heart was so heavy, and feeling that heaviness was a burden. It was detrimental to me. And she kept explaining, the more I kept pushing that light out, the more I saw that light just illuminate those broken pieces to the point they literally evaporated, to the point that all I wanted to do was cry. All I wanted to do was let go. All I kept hearing in my mind was saying, I forgive, I forgive, I forgive, I forgive, I forgive. And that's a second way to heal a closed heart, is by realizing it's not about mending your heart. It's about breaking through. Because every time we have a breakdown, it requires us to become a new person. Same thing with, let's get into a relationship. So actually, before we get into a relationship, let's jump into the third one, because that's really going to stem to a relationship. And that is, the last way to heal a closed heart is, it's going to sound weird, but this is how you transmute the darkness back to love. And that is, you got to honor the emptiness. Honor your emptiness, honestly. I had this one session with a Akashic record reader. She went into my past life, and it made so much sense, honestly, what she told me. And she told me, she was like, it seems like your mind is always in darkness. And it's true. She was right. My mind's always in darkness. And I never understood why. And I'm not going to get into my past life, but pretty much what she stemmed down to it is that there is an eternal emptiness that is like a huge void. And no matter what goes into it, it never fills itself up. So I felt very incomplete. And recently, I'll share with you guys, I had a moment where depression really hit me. I do come from a long line of people who have depression in my family and suicidal thoughts, and also physical trauma at very young ages for all women in my family. And, this has trickled for a long time in my life, to the point that my depression was severely hit that I just literally want to give up. And I recently experienced that moment where I wanted to give up. I really wanted to stop YouTube. I wanted to stop my business. I saw no point in any of it. But at that moment, it was all because I know I still have an attachment from a past life that rippled into this life with the person. And I started to realize how attached and codependent I am. And I have no shame in any of this when I experienced it. That's why I have no shame in being vulnerable and sharing my tears with you. Because this is what we have to do in order to heal our closed heart. And that is we have to honor that emptiness, honor that darkness, honor that void, honor that pain. We can no longer bypass, because all we do on this planet is bypass. And this is why we're destroying our planet. This is why we don't know how to love. This is why we jump into relationship to relationship. This is why we love bomb. This is why we just have such dark intentions and we're so unconscious of it. But this is the whole point of healing a closed heart, is that we have to be conscious of what's causing all of this disalignment, all of this discord, dissatisfaction. And when I was going through this experience, I had to really sit there with myself, with that internal chaos, and instead of judging it for the first time in my life, instead of judging it, instead of trying to call someone, instead of trying to be so needy, I cried. I cried so hard, and I leaned into that emptiness. I leaned to it so far into it. It was like a huge black hole, and I didn't know where I was going to go. But here's the thing. Me honoring that emptiness was me finally choosing to stop abandoning myself. And that is the way to heal a closed heart, is to stop abandoning yourself. The pain that we faced, if we don't face it, the pain that we went through, if we don't face it, here's what happens. We become the very thing that we despise. I became that emotionally unavailable parent the way my mother was towards me. I became that needy, codependent person the way I am in relationships. Well, I was in relationships. I'm healing that. And, I started to realize everything I've been trying to avoid, everything that has been so suppressed, everything that has been just bothering me, I became that very thing. And at that moment, I knew I had to honor that I had a lot of hate in my heart. I had to honor how much anger I was holding on to. I had to honor how hurt my inner child felt. And in that moment, I fell so in love with it. After I felt it all, I fell so in love with it because I finally stopped abandoning myself. I finally chose me. I started to hold me the way a soulmate will hold me. I started to love me the way a mom should nurture a child when they're sad. I started to finally see myself for who I really am. An imperfect human being that is beautifully flawed in a divine way. That is just having an experience that is ready to be set free. And here's the thing, you guys. After I honored that emptiness, I felt so fucking free. It's crazy. It's crazy. Most of us want to operate through life with a closed heart, and with operating this way and having a closed heart, we tend to not understand why we attract toxic partners. We have a tendency to not understand, why is it that we're so needy? Why is it that we're so desperate? Why is it that we crave things outside of us and don't know how to love ourselves? And in this process of going through this in my own life, I started to realize those patterns and how I was only hurting myself. So when I started to honor that emptiness and be there with myself, I started to realize that my heart was closed because I didn't know how to let go. I didn't know how to surrender. I didn't know how to be free. But then I figured it out. Is that we all have to lean into what our heart is needing. And our heart needs our own nurturing. Our heart needs our own recognition. Our heart just needs us to see us and to not feel alone. The only reason why you feel lonely is because you're not choosing you. The only reason why you feel broken is because you believe that everything that happened to you is who you truly are. The reason why it's hard for you to forgive is because you believe you don't deserve to have a healed heart, to have a heart full of love. But I'm here to tell you, the way to heal your heart, if you start implementing these ways and start understanding how they operate in your own life, you start to honor the fact that all of this darkness actually has a bigger plan. And the bigger plan, and the bigger picture, is to help you witness that all of this is leading you back to yourself, is leading you back to love, is leading you back to what you have forgotten. And that is that you're lovable, that you're whole, that you're complete, and you don't need anything to define that wholeness and completion within yourself. What's going on, handsome Frederick? He's a handsome man. Very handsome. But beautiful beings, those are 3 ways to heal a closed heart. Is by, don't judge yourself. Please don't judge yourself. Because when you judge yourself, you only hold yourself back from being the change that you want to see. And if we don't allow ourselves to be imperfect, then all we're going to do is point the finger and try to change other people and avoid our own healing. And the whole point of this journey is not to try to change the world, but realize you have an inner world that needs to be changed and allow that to exude outside of you. The way to transmute and to always have a filled cup is by not pouring your cup into other things, into other people's cups, is by filling up your cup until it overflows, and allow that overflowing to flow down and fill other people's cups. So I share all this with you for you to recognize that if you have a closed heart and it's hard for you to receive, it's hard for you to surrender, it's hard for you to allow, just know you're not alone. And just know this is all part of the plan to teach you how to love yourself. I was going to say once again, but it's true, how to love yourself once again, because you have forgotten. And the whole point of this journey is remembering who you really are, which is a being who has so much immense love that just needs to be curious enough to want to understand that love and allow it to help you break through, allow it to illuminate your soul, allow it to teach you that you don't need to hold on to any of this anymore. So other than that, you beautiful beings, that is all I have for you. 3 ways to heal a closed heart. And if you find this very comforting, this video, well, I hope this video has changed you. I hope it has activated certain strategies within you on how to always recognize when yourself needs you the most and needs your love and not your judgment. So and that, you beautiful beings, I really hope this brought any clarity. I really hope this brought activations, and I really hope this brought you to understand that you're not alone. You are not alone in the pain that you feel. Other than that, you guys, please hit that like button. hit that subscribe button and hit that notification button so you won't miss out on any videos. Until then, I'll see you all on the next one, and only love.